What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Outer Worlds. And yes, I know. I know. It's been a stretch. I haven't been on in I don't know, better part of a week. But between work and my health, there's not much I can do. Haven't been feeling quite right, but I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit better now. Alright, so there's things to do. For one, look, if you guys have been following, remember what I kept complaining about? That, I can't take the helmets off of them? Look, no helmets. No helmets. Yeah, and why are there no helmets? Because I'm an idiot, and I didn't look in the settings where you have the option to either take off the helmets of your companions or yourself or both. Now, they technically, so I just decided to keep mine on because you're playing this in first person, so who cares? Um, but technically, they are wearing the helmets. So she gets the benefit of the helmet and armor, as does Max. So they'll have these technically, but we don't have to have them actually showing it. So that I like a lot because, you know, the way that the models look. So I didn't want to have their faces completely covered. All right. So I had done some stuff on my own time. Uh, some little side quests, but nothing that was really nothing that really mattered. Um, so we do have some stuff that we have to do. Um, we have to give Mr. Pickett's journal to Sebastian at Stellar Bay. Well, we're not going to Stellar Bay quite yet. We have to go back to the Groundbreaker still. Alright, so really, this is the next thing that we have to do. We have to speak to the information broker, and this is the main story, so let's get on with it. One of the things I did return that kid to his mother. Of course, we found out the kid was like 40-something years old. What's up, Albert? Albert's saying Happy Halloween a week ago. Yes, indeed, Happy Halloween. How was your Halloween? Our Halloween got screwed up because of weather. We were having threats of horrible, brutal storms and thunderstorms and wind and the whole nine yards, so they pushed trick-or-treating back a day. And Toby and I, for those of you who don't know, Toby's my son, so if you hear me reference, that's who I'm talking about. So Toby and I, we weren't out trick-or-treating, but what we did do was we both got dressed up like, I was kind of like this demonic plague doctor, and he was kind of like a plague doctor / victim, and looked like he's been coughing up blood and all this stuff. And we went around town and we handed out candy. So instead of collecting it, we handed it out to what kids were out there. But unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of kids trick or treating. We're saying we don't celebrate it here, unfortunately. Not like you guys. What do you guys do for Halloween? Like anything at all, or? Can I hold on? Let me see if I can fast travel a little bit closer to where I gotta go. But yeah, like, do you guys have any kind of traditions regarding that you bother with, or not really? Ruth Bellamy. Yeah, and incidentally, with these posters, I've downloaded a whole bunch of images of these, like most of them, and I'm gonna print them out and use them in my role-playing game. you know, on city walls and stuff like that of the models that I'm building, of like the terrain buildings and stuff like that. Albert saying some kids walk around, but not nearly like you guys. We have pumpkins in stores, but I guess it's kind of like up to the community to really gather together and make a big deal out of it, right? Hold on. Where am I walking into? It's like, to me, you know, I see it as, you know, it's shit, that's right. This is the weird, I can't figure out how to get around spot. Maybe I have to go through those smuggler tunnels that I saw the hatch for down there. But yeah, it's for me, it's like I'm so used to Halloween just being this, you know, this crazy celebratory thing, and it's sometimes hard to fathom people not celebrating it as much. But I mean, you know, different culture, so it makes sense. Oh, good. Get in the way, Parvati. That was smart. Ah.
Everyone all right?
All right, everybody give up your loot. All right, let's find the bodies. Albert saying, I really wish I could take a walk on Halloween in my neighborhood, and people would walk around all around me in costumes, and all houses would be in spider webs and with Halloween decorations all over, but there's nothing but a few pumpkins. Yeah, it sucks. Especially, I mean, I understand, like, there's countries and stuff and cultures that won't celebrate it because it's either, like if you're talking about, like, an Asian country or something like that, like it's so completely not part of their culture that of course they wouldn't have anything to do with it. But there's the hatch wasn't down here, was it? But then there's also like countries and stuff like that are so religious that they won't have anything to do with it. Wait, what is the where were the smuggler tunnels? How the hell do I get there? I gotta go here. Albert saying, because I'm a big fan of scaries, so it really sucks that it's not big enough. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, even here in the United States, like, it's becoming less of a thing where people really go all out for trick-or-treating, for celebrating Halloween. And it's really sad. Like, when we were going around, over the last several years, I've noticed less people handing out candy, less kids trick-or-treating, and that bums me out. But what bums me out even more is that not only are there less people actively participating, but like people aren't even really like they're not even like decorating their homes as much, and even worse, kids that are trick-or-treating, it seems like a lot of the kids now, granted, I live in a city, so it may be more of an urban thing, but more and more you notice that, oh, kids older than like 10, 11 years old, most of them aren't even wearing costumes. Like, there were kids running around just wearing hooded sweatshirts, and that's it. Like, not even a mask. And they're just like running around in hoodies and like, oh, trick or treat. It's like you didn't even get dressed up. You know, I mean, we still gave those kids candy, but it's like, man, like no effort at all. You're not going to put any effort in whatsoever. Like, you know, I don't get it. I'm a 44-year-old man. I'll be 45 in January.
From a distance.
And I'm still getting dressed up. Like, I'm still completely hooked.
Sing songs.
Oh, crap. Oh, double crap. Oh, you're coming right for me, huh? Oh, hey! You can fuck off, too. Get out of here. Help
Never
me.
anger a man of the cloth.
But yeah, like I was saying, you know, it's depressing, you know. It's like, what I don't get too is it's not like, okay, it's not like, for instance, Thanksgiving over here, where in the U.S., you know, like we have Thanksgiving, and it's a very American-only holiday, so to speak. I mean, Canada has their own Thanksgiving as well, but what I'm getting at is like just using it as just a holiday. You know, like a lot of people like, I don't really like Thanksgiving. I don't want to, you know, traditionally get together with family, and you know, some people are like, I don't like it because I don't want to spend time with people that I don't want to be around anymore, or whatever. You know, there's always, you know, stuff like that, or people that don't necessarily celebrate Christmas as a religious thing, and that's fine. That all makes sense. But Halloween is just fun. Like the whole point of it, you know, trick or treating and everything. It's just a holiday of having fun. You know, like when else can you like get creative and get dressed up in a crazy costume and run around and collect candy? You know, like, you know, I don't get that. Why would you not want to be a part of that?
Here they come.
And I hate these things so much. Oh, hi, you just jumped right up on top of me, didn't you? Ah. One thing I wish would happen in this game is that my controller would vibrate or something when I got hit. Because a lot of times I'm getting hit and I'm not even really aware that I'm taking damage. Like, that gets kind of dangerous. But yeah, you know, it's like, why don't you want to be a part of just something that's just based on having a good time? Like, it's one thing for you, like, you know, you're not living in a country where Halloween is a thing, really, you know, so it's like, yeah, it's understandable, it's understandable if people, you know, around you aren't all that into it because it's not really a part of your culture or anything, but, you know, it is for me, and it like, you know, in the United States, and I think a big part of it is just like, I think parents don't want to be bothered. I think it's a big part of like the general laziness. Like, people just want to, like, oh, I don't want to be bothered to do anything, period, really. Like, people are like, I don't want to put an effort into anything anymore, and that means like, oh, I got to go out and come up with a costume or blah, 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 blah. Like, people look at it as negative. It's like, man, you don't even have to spend a lot of money, which was a part of why I had an issue with, like, these kids running around just wearing hoodies. Like, you don't need to spend a ton of money on a costume. Like, white glue and toilet paper Like, if you just take a paintbrush and cover your face, like parts of your face
Nice hit.
with 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 white glue, and then you layer toilet paper on top of it, you get this crazy looking texture. I'll kill the mantis swarms, please. But you get like this crazy texture, and then you can, use whatever to paint it. You can find either like, makeup or acrylic paint or something that's, easily washed off with water. And then you just color the toilet paper that's on your face, and you get these crazy color. You can make your skin look all craggedy and screwed up. Like, oh, you want to look like a zombie? I've done it a million times. Just using that technique, and all of a sudden the person's got like gross, like rotten looking skin where you can, tear little holes in the paper or in the toilet paper and either use fake blood, or if you don't have that, just like, red food coloring in corn syrup or something. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, bottom line is it doesn't cost a lot of money. And you can still come up with something really cool. And to me, the whole fun of it is the process of putting the whole outfit together. And then when you're going out and people are like, oh my God, like, yeah. Like, yeah, I made myself look absolutely horrifying, and it didn't cost me any money.
Oh, I always wanted to poke through a high-gain wireless. They only got one on Terra 2, up in Byzantium.
I'm not out of breath. I just need a minute to clear the stitch in my side.
Okay, so they're straight up gonna attack us. Albert saying, however, Walt, we do have something called Fastelavant, or Fastelavin, where people, mostly kids or only kids, dress up, and then they beat up a barrel with a bat and candy is inside, like a piñata. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, at least you're doing something fun.
Here we go.
I knew something was on top of me. Oh, I was crouched. And I was also shooting my friend over and over again. Oh, did I ruin that? No. But did I say that right? Fastelavin? Do I have any questions about Denmark? That I can think of off the top of my head. How about just throw some interesting tidbits at me? And if I could think of a specific question, I'll ask. Because right off the top of my head, I can't really think of any. I'm also kind of, dialed into the game. You actually have really good English. Like, I don't recall many, if any, times where, where you've been posting where I didn't follow what you were saying. Yeah, facts or, well, for instance, like, all right, since we're talking about holidays, now is Fastelavin which I'm probably not saying right. Now, is that a holiday or is that just like a traditional game thing that you guys do? And what? Tell me about some other like holidays that you guys celebrate, other than like, the traditional like international stuff, like not including Christmas and things. Hello, Mechanical Sentry.
Nice work. You should check in with my crew. Maybe they can help you.
That's why I'm here.
Go back and follow the trail running underneath that archway, and you'll find them soon enough.
You got a real talent for murder, stranger. Color me impressed.
Oh.
This station's under the protection of the corporate compliance crew. You ought to talk to my crew. They're guarding a small barracks to the southeast, by the edge of the mountain.
Okay. How do I find the other C3s?
See that path that runs underneath that giant archway? Follow it on down. There's a little station near the cliff. You'll find the rest of my crew there.
Well, what are you waiting for? Help me kill these marauders.
You mean the one still inside? Wish I could, but we play it by the book. You want help? Bertolt's the one to ask.
Yeah. Bye. Wuss. Okay, so that's where I need to go through.
No!
That's the last of them.
How did that guy get past me? Alright, let's go around the outside first. Make sure I can collect whatever's out here. Alright. You guys in my way. Yes, dissenters in our midst. I was saying, you say it almost correctly. I think Fastelavn is the one thing we have here that most others don't. It goes back to when people were afraid of witches. They believed cats were witches. So they... to be continued. You know what's funny? I had a neighbor that lived downstairs from me, from an apartment I lived in years ago, who was scared to death of cats because she still believed that, and mind you, I'm not talking about some old lady, I'm talking about a girl who was like 20-something, and was convinced that, like, first of all, she was scared of any insect, and she was afraid of cats, and we had like 3 cats. And she was scared of them because she was like, they'll steal your soul. Like, they'll suck your soul out of you in the middle of the night.
You may
like,
not realize this being as you're an outsider, but the blaring alarms indicate the station's on lockdown. Which means you can't ever get to me. So leave already.
No, I'm going to come after you. Hi.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, I'm just an awful shot.
Well done. We are victorious.
So they would put cats in the barrels and beat them, which, yeah, that is awful. It has been adapted into a holiday today for fun, but that's where it comes from. Oh. See, that's the kind of stuff I find super interesting. Like,
You
oh,
out
here's a
there,
tradition and here's where
whoever
it came
you are,
from. Like,
yes, I can see you. Come here and talk to me, face to intercom.
nope, not yet. I ain't talking to you yet. Not until I've collected all the loot that I can collect. And isn't it just insane to think about, you know, that back in the day, you know, like people were so superstitious that they actually they believe this kind of stuff as absolute fact. You know, like no, cats are witches, or you know, they really are evil, or just whatever. Like any of this kind of stuff was not just like, it wasn't considered superstition. It wasn't superstition. They considered it like, no, this is real. Which makes you wonder, the things that you're taught are 100% real today, the things you grew up understanding as a fact, how much of that is going to turn out to be, oh, by the way, we discovered that that belief is wrong. Like, this isn't true. Could be all kinds of crazy stuff. Albert saying, it sounds like we're these crazy psychopaths, but it was a very long time ago. Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, we set people to, you know, to the torch over here, you know, in the 1600s. Or setting accused people on fire because someone said they were a witch. So we're certainly not innocent of any of that either. But it's wild, isn't it? Like when you think about it. Hold on, let me sell off some stuff that I don't need that's just taking up room. What is this? Flamethrower, I've been selling those, I don't need that. A claw rake. I'm going to hold on to that because I don't know if that's better than the one I have. Although probably not. Albert's asking, did you know Denmark was very involved in slavery as well? I do know that Denmark was a part of the slave trade, but not Denmark directly so much as territories that they held. But I don't know like a lot of details and whatnot. Oh, well, there you go. It's kind of what you just said. Albert saying we would travel between West Indian islands and get slaves, and it was this whole marker of slaves for sugar, crops, coffee, and all. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I was getting at. Um, yeah. Screwed up, right? You know, and you know, to think that that was at the time that that was happening, like, oh, it's just whatever. You know, like nobody really gave it a whole lot of thought as to, oh, maybe this isn't right. That's not worth much. That's not worth much. I think I'm going to break that when I'm going to sell this. I think. But hold on. I believe. Yeah, so these are the ones I've. Okay, so I'm going to break a bunch of those down for parts. But that's like with slavery, like that's why for and then Albert saying, then you guys had the Civil War with slaves with that white stuff, and remember what the name is. That's okay. For white stuff, you mean with the Confederacy or cotton? You mean with? Are you referring to cotton? Yeah, the whole thing was just that with the United States, we were so unwilling to uh, uh, like give up slaves because the slave trade was a very lucrative thing. It's kind of like nowadays where um, when we have all these undocumented workers, like all these the illegal immigrants that come into the United States and they're working really cheap. A lot of people in the U.S. freak out and they're all like, "Oh, they're stealing all of our jobs and blah blah blah." And they're not stealing all of our jobs, but you have these people that are working in farms and they're the ones now picking cotton and picking oranges or doing this like real menial physical labor that nobody else wants to do, um, and they're getting paid very little money for it, but they send all that money back home to their families where that money can go a long ways. But by making all these, like with ICE and, everybody making this big effort to kick all these, undocumented workers out to get rid of all these illegal immigrants, what actually happens is it actually hurts us because now we're getting rid of all these workers who are working in all these farms, and there's no citizens that are coming in to take their place. So a lot of farms are suffering because now they can't produce, food or their product at the rate that they were before because they don't have the workers. So during the time of our Civil War, that was a big part of it. It was like it wasn't only that people were saying, well, I think that the Africans they should remain slaves. It was a lot of it wasn't even a matter of them you know, it wasn't even the slavery thing so much as if you take our slaves away, then we can no longer produce cotton, tobacco, orange groves. Like we can't, like these people with these plantations and these farms, they are losing their workers potentially. So that's where a big part of that was. It was we don't want to lose the people that are doing the labor which allows us to have product to sell to make money. So it was all about money. It had nothing to do with, like for the South, it had nothing really to do with, what was right or what wasn't right. So that's why there was that major battle, over slavery. And the South, the Confederacy, didn't want anything to do with what the union was saying about making these changes because they're like, you're not going to tell us to completely evacuate our way of life, to give it all up. So that's where the Civil War basically came from. And it's funny because there's a lot of people that'll try to say like, oh, slavery wasn't the reason for for the Civil War, and yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was the basis of it. It just sadly wasn't a matter of the humanity as much as it was the money. Wait. Okay. I want to make sure I was holding it over the right thing. Oh, I got a backpack out of that. I got a backpack part out of a mask. Okay. Alright, that is... I'm going to hold on to that, and I'm going to hold on to this. Just because I don't know if my other companions have better stuff or not. I don't think they do. But, yeah, but our Civil War was very It was fucked up. I mean, it was something that needed to happen. I'm not like, I'm not saying, oh, it should never have. No, it absolutely should have happened, and I'm glad that it did. Um, it's just all the circumstances surrounding it. Science +3. I mean, I got no reason to hold on to that. You know what I wish that they had? I wish that you had the like that's 24. This was what? 26. But I wish that they had like racks like they did in Fallout and all that, where you could put an entire suit of armor together. Just because like some of this stuff looks really cool, and it would be neat just to hold on to it, just to be able to be like, okay, I'm gonna, at least use it for decoration on the ship or something. But that's sealed. Okay, now let's go around and talk to this dingus in the other room. Oh, I can pick that. Oh, this is a cavalcade of stuff. Elite troop armor, which I'll probably end up selling. We're saying, and Lego is made by Denmark. It's invented here. The name is based on the words leg and godt. Leg meaning play and godt meaning good. No kidding. See, I didn't know that. Leg goat. Lego. No shit. That's awesome. Like, at most, maybe I would have found out that, Lego was from Denmark. I didn't know that. But that probably would have been about the only information I would have known. But not what it meant. And like, just knowing that Lego actually meant something. That's pretty awesome. Okay, memorandum. Barb. The new environmental controls terminal is now installed and running upstairs. Congratulations! You messaged corporate about it. You get to manage it. Consider this your official notice to hide its access keycard deep in the bottom of a drawer somewhere, preferably within the archives or in one of the station's other popular sections. Because I sure as hell will not allow our station's efficiency scores to plummet due to pointless safety feature. Don't even think about testing the system out. The emergency sirens will make your ears bleed, and if you accidentally trigger the fire suppression system, it can suck the air from the room faster than the station's last performance review. Val. Okay, so there's a key card or something stashed away, which I don't think I didn't manage to stumble across that, did I? Search data. Fallbrook domicile key. Nope, I don't think I have it. And there's a whole bunch of enemies nearby. Did you maybe leave it in the bathroom? Nope, didn't leave it in the bathroom. Are they going to be in another room as soon as I talk on the intercom? We're saying young people in Denmark have the record for consuming the most amounts of alcohol. It's quite embarrassing. Yeah, that's not good. Alright, let's talk to this dingus.
I can't tell if you're brave or simply touched in the head. What in the galaxy are you doing sniffing around my station? Unless you are, in fact, trying to suicide by Marauder?
I'm looking for an information broker.
Nice and coherent. Good. Take it you're not with the Marauders, then. By the hand of fate and my own cunning skill, I run this station. The Marauders may have other plans, and since my hired hands have clearly turned idle, it appears I have need of you. As my newest contractor, you may call me the broker.
Okay. Albert saying, I'm not like that, though. I barely like beer. Hey, I don't drink at all, so it's not exactly a bad way of living, you know? I actually kind of got in an argument about that on Facebook yesterday, where somebody was kind of talking shit on straight edge and vegan people, and, you know, like, oh, so you guys don't like to have fun and you don't like to eat well? And it's like, that kind of aggravated me because, of course, a bunch of people were like, ah, ha, 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 and I'm like, dude, you know, this is someone on my friends list saying that, you know, and I'm like, you tend to forget, like, I'm straight edge, you know, and to me, like, I don't have to, you know, imbibe in alcohol or drugs or anything like that to have a good time. Never have, you know. And I'm not vegan, but if anybody's vegan, like, just because they eat differently than you, don't give them shit for it, you know. That stuff just aggravates me. But it's sad that I mean, Denmark, like, hey, you guys have a lot of young people drinking. We've got a lot of all ages drinking. It's way too much. You know, we're all part of this messed up culture where it's not just like okay to drink and it's okay to smoke, but it's like it's expected. Like, you're weird if you don't drink. You're weird if you don't like to go get drunk. Like, that shouldn't be weird. It's not healthy. You know, like, we know liver disease and pancreatitis and all kinds of stuff that can come from, you know, heavy drinking. And yet we ignore all of that because, oh, you don't like to get wasted? But as soon as someone drinks too often, then it's like, oh, that guy's got a problem. You know, it's like, I mean, and I'm not knocking anybody who drinks. Like, I don't care if you want to drink, drink. But it's kind of weird that's the society we've always lived in. We all are part of this culture where it's not just something, like I said, it's not just accepted, but it's expected. You know, it's weird. All right, okay, broker.
Excellent. I have a good feeling about our business relationship. I'm sure it will go much more smoothly than with those unscrupulous mercenaries I hired. I barricaded the broadcast center, but I can only hold out for so long. Clear the Marauders out, and I'll pay you double the going rate.
I can only imagine what the going rate is.
Transmission equipment, and I'll be out of business. The elevator and doors to the second floor are back online. Hurry before I have to lock them down again.
I was saying, now you heard some interesting things. Did it trigger some questions? Nothing that springs to mind. Sorry, it's tough to, like, do that and play a game at the same time, which is a lot of, like, stuff I gotta be thinking about, too. Oh, here's one. So now, it wasn't that long ago, I think you were listening to, like, you know, getting into some, like, heavier music and whatnot. So here's, around you, what seems to still be the predominant music? Like, what seems to be the most popular form of music? No, it's not bothering me. I just, like, I can't, off the top of my head, like, think of a lot of questions, you know?
How many Marauders broke into the station?
Too many.
considering I hired a bunch of no-good mercs to keep them out in the first place. Already, they've caused considerable damage to the station's property. If they take down the broadcast equipment, I'll be out of a job, permanently.
How much is it? I guess you need to start filling out some applications, like more. All right, well, spend. Okay, sorry, I was talking to my son. Um, do you mean what I like or what the general genre in Denmark is? No, like the general, like what seems to be like what's the most popular? Is it still like just like pop music or more like dance club type music? What's in it for me?
Aside from the bits I'll be paying you, I trade in secrets, valuable ones for my vocation. I'm sure you can come up with something you might like to ask me about in person once I'm safe.
Plus, you can also tell me what you're into, like your particular musical preference. But since you were asking me about, if I was curious about anything about Denmark in general, all right, I'll see what I can do. We got to go kill a bunch of marauders. And that's fine, just fine.
Great work.
Man, that lit up and there was nothing in it. Lame. Pick up light assault rifle. Ah, see, ammo. That's always good. Almost missed that. Alright, well, let's go and kill more marauders. Now, did I miss a door or something?
Hey, elevators to your right. Get ready.
Alright, where am I going? I don't know where I'm going. It said elevators to my right, but I totally must have walked right past it. I was saying, yeah, Pop, pop music mostly, but I tend to like rock and jazz more. But still, I like most music. Radiohead, I love right now. Radiohead's a band I could never really get into. Like, I'm not saying they're bad because like they're very talented musicians and everything. Um, but I don't know. For some reason, it was just like they have some songs I think are really good, but then I don't know. I don't know what it is about them. I just I can never really like gravitate that much towards. But I listen to a lot of stuff I know people in general hate, so you know, it's definitely to each their own. Where is this elevator? It's not in the bathroom. It's not in that room because I had to unlock that. Oh, it's over here. God damn. Yep, the guys in my band, my guitarist and my bass player in particular, they love Radiohead. And I know those albums in particular they really, really like. In fact, we just had this discussion just like a couple of practices ago. And because I was saying the same thing, I'm like, yeah, I just was never really into Radiohead, and they're like, oh my god, like I love them, and blah 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 blah. It's just funny because like we all agree on a lot of music, and then it's like there's some things that's like really you guys like that, or you know they'll find out I like something weird, and like I know I'm the only one in the band that's into the band Into Another, like, and that's a band that's like you either really love it or you're gonna be completely confused by it.
Let's go! Nice hit!
Hold still, let me shoot you. Where are you going?
Everyone all right?
Let's take all the stuff. Get all the loot. Bypass shunt. That helps. So many things. Plain and pure water. I'm glad to be picking up these bypass shunts since I just like picked the 2 doors. Hold on. What was that? Hold on 1 second. Albert saying, I hate when people make fun of what I listen to. They think that their pop is the best. I think older music is best. You know, there's definitely like music that I'll kind of like goof on a little bit, but I'll never make fun of anybody for liking what they like. So I think it's absurd. I think it's completely absurd to, trash someone unless they're listening to like racist redneck music. Like that's one thing, but but you like what you like, and but I mean I grew up with people talking shit and making fun of the stuff I was into because I liked heavy metal and hardcore and punk rock. And when I was young, none of that stuff was mainstream. None of that stuff was quote unquote cool to like. So everybody, that was into regular music would, pop music and mainstream stuff they would just make fun of you. Like, oh, you're wearing
Well, I could use a breather.
we'd be wearing a shirt with like, you know, Slayer on it. They're like, ooh, what is that? Is that your, kill your mother, stab your father music? Ha 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 ha. And it's like, shut up. People are just ignorant. All right, let me answer this message real quick. Okay. Speaking of band stuff, we are trying to figure out when the hell we can get together and practice, because everybody is going to be doing a million things over the next week or so. It's kind of thrown us off a little bit. Oh, wait, as that was spinning around... Oh. Inclement weather warning. Oh, well, that's nice. 72% chance of thunderstorms and severe thunderstorms, including lightning strikes. Alright, messages. Emergency protocols. Alright. Alright. So there's nothing vital in any of those messages. Albert, you're 20. Unless you had another birthday I don't know about. Whoops. Alright, what else is in here? I'm happening. That's actually a phrase over here. You say something's happening. Yep. I am an old man. Did that say ultra? Did that say ultra rare? Oops. Oh, just ultra. I was like, why would that be an ultra rare stun baton? It made no sense. Alright. Anything else in here that I forgot other than this other terminal? Running diagnostics. Atmospheric controls are online. Issue detected on a mechanical controls, alerting headquarters. Alright, atmospheric controls. Environmental sensor status. All sensors currently indicate a standard level range regarding temperature and chemical composition through the station. Deploy fire suppressor systems in the main hall. Proceed? Yes. So this should kill any marauders that were in there. Albert saying, tell me a story that you never told your parents. Something forbidden. Oh. Okay, I don't know if that actually did anything or not. What is something I've never told my parents? I don't know. It's not really, nope, not going out that way. There's not really anything that I think I've kept secret. At least not that I can think of off the top of my head. I know I never told them that, like, when I was, like, 11 years old, I was sneaking off to go to punk rock shows and whatnot. Like, I would tell them that I was going over a friend's house to spend the night, and then we're actually, you know, going out and going to see bands. I can't really think of anything. That's certainly nothing scandalous. Hello? Ah, they are dead. That plan worked out quite well. Hold on. Let me answer that message. Go in there in a moment. So make sure there's nothing that I didn't pick up.
Marauder free at last. I'll get the door. You hurry on it.
You know, broker, there weren't really a lot of marauders in the first place. You've got armed sentries in here. What were you all afraid of? You wuss. Hello, Hiram.
Never thought I'd be ecstatic at having the walls painted in blood, but seeing as it's not mine, I'd say this calls for a celebration. My compliments on your improvised utilization of the fire suppressant system. I do admire a man of ingenuity.
Yeah, great. I didn't do it out of the goodness of my heart, if you get my drift.
Yes, I believe I do. This ought to square our debt. One hefty payment for a highly valued service rendered.
2,500
but
bits.
I admit, I do wonder why you ventured here at all. Allow me to pose my question in another manner. Why, in the nebula, are you here?
For reasons. Albert's asking, any new paranormal stuff? Nah, I haven't had any kind of spooky stuff happen in a long time. You know why I'm here. Can we continue our conversation from the intercom now?
If you insist. As I was telling you before, I am the premier broker for all of Monarch. Phineas must have sent you. He's the only one insane enough to send someone to Monarch to rush me.
Uh-huh.
I knew it was only a matter of time before he came a-knocking. Look, I might be late, but I fulfill my contracts, always.
Are you fibbing? Be honest.
You said that in a way that was almost believable.
I take offense to that. Look, okay. I was delayed by MSI and the Iconoclasts. The idiots were scrambling all transmissions to override each other's broadcasts. But as you've shut them down, I'm back in business. I don't doubt that you are working with Phineas, but my contract specifies I relay any acquired information to the purchaser, and to the purchaser alone. However, to send the data, I will need your assistance in cycling the antenna's receiver, so I can input the needed adjustments.
Jumpstart the tower. Well, Phineas doesn't trust many people. How would he hook up with you?
You make it sound so scandalous. Phineas has been in hiding for the past 35 years. He got in touch with Nyoka first, who I use as a physical go-between. The rest is history.
Oh, I gotta have Nyoka with me to do a mission as well. And I bet I have a whole new checklist of crap to do before it works, right?
Ugh, don't be ridiculous. We're resetting a broadcast tower, not filing taxes. There are no errands, spreadsheets, or rituals involved. It's simple, truly. I merely need you to waltz outside and throw the lever to cycle the power. I'll key in the numerical adjustments from in here.
That's it? You're not pulling my leg?
Someone has trust issues, though I can't hardly feign surprise. Yes, that is all. No, I am not mocking you. Much. Just step outside, flip the switch, depart forever. Understood? Good. Marvelous. We're in agreement.
We're almost done. Let's finish this.
Got it.
Terrific. I'll be here, waiting with bated breath. Give a shout if the panel electrocutes you.
I just leveled up. I'm gonna steal all the stuff you have in here, if you'll let me. Oh, good. Nothing is marked as stolen. Albert's asking, what's my favorite scary movie? Well, my favorite horror movie is the original Halloween. Now, I know a lot of people don't find that scary anymore, but that one will always... that will always be my favorite horror. Trying to think of anything more recent that I really liked a lot. I mean, there's a bunch of good movies that I like and stuff, but... Ooh. I'll break into the safe. What's in
Oh,
here?
you got that?
Finding all kinds of goodies in here. Alright. I'm tired of itchy acid burns. Try Anti-Cleo's artisanal Borst scented moisturizing cream. Ugh. Alright, priority transmission log. No outgoing. Alright. Begin broadcasting. Okay. Personal files. For Hiram Blythe. Dare I say, the future is looking bright indeed. I can run a full gamut of operations without ever leaving the sanctuary of the broadcast room. Sanjar and Graham are living up to their promises and have not interfered with initial broadcast. The deal is holding, and I believe I can make a life here. H. Sneaky, sneaky. Had a near miss the other day. Nearly ended up with the board on my trail. We will mark that trial firmly in the failure category. One must experiment, however, to ascertain the best methods. I have found, thus far, that the most reliable method for evading detection within the limited frequency of Monarch's off-world transmissions involves duplicating regular news broadcasts on several unused frequencies. My information gathering associates know to filter out the sounds in the vocal range, in turn isolating the embedded data. And the board's authorities are none the wiser. Playing hazard has never been so thrilling, nor high stakes. Should have known. Packs it all. Poxidol. Poxidol. These imbecilic children, in their hatred of each other, Sanjar and Graham have oversaturated my key bands. They'll take down each other all right, and me right alongside them. I should have never invited them to play, but what do I do about it now? What to do indeed. I don't know if that was anything crucial for us, but Albert's asking my fondest memory. Definitely when my son was born. Like, hands down. I can't imagine a whole lot of parents that would say something different, because it is a crazy freaking day. Like, that whole thing is that is a roller coaster of emotions and thoughts and all kinds of stuff. It's like you're super excited and super scared and super in love, and it's wild. All right. Man, I got some annoying scabs on this tattoo that need to freaking heal so I can finish this thing. Okay, I wasn't up here before. Correct? Yeah, this is not familiar. There's nothing in there, lame. Alright, so this is where we turn the thing on, and I'm sure we get double crossed.
Testing 1, 2, check, check. Sweet stars. But that is a beautiful sound. Can you hear me? We are a go for broadcast. Oh, and I also dispatched Phineas his data. Impatient prick. Worse, I'm now indebted to him for it.
Yeah.
Now I'll kindly thank you to get out of my tower.
Don't make me come back in there.
There's no need to assert your dominance. I doubt I could make you do anything you don't wish to. Look, I am well aware that at times I may have the tiniest iota of a prickly exterior. But I must admit I have grown rather fond of you. Take care out there.
Okay.
Captain! Big flaming thingy!
What? Oh. That's a ship. And it's gonna go boom boom. Damn.
Black holes. Did you see that?
Whose ship was that?
Looked like a UDL ship. Based on the gunnery attachments, I'd guess it's one of the board's blockade enforcers, but don't cite me on that. Oh well, a pity for the crew, but I can't see how it affects me.
Hiram? Can you hear me? Did you see that?
Architect, save me from swindlers and fools. Sanjar, what are you bloody doing on my channel? Did MSI or did MSI not cease broadcasting?
Yes, but... Hiram, are you there?
Alright, hold on. Most embarrassing situation I've been in? Oh, Jesus. Let me get past this and I'll tell you one embarrassing story. Will someone explain what's going on?
Ah, the good captain. The truth brings us together once more. Our salvation has come crashing through the stratosphere. We need only collect its weapons. Are you mad? That's a UDL gunship. You'd probably shoot your own toes off.
You're acting like children.
Par for the course, really. You should do like I did. Get out while you still retain a shred of sanity.
We could use the gunship's armaments to defend Stellar Bay, but we need its targeting module. Our message is so close to breaking free of this planet and spreading to the stars. Help us secure that module and we will save our colony.
Listen, I don't care a single whit what you do, so long as you leave me out of it. Which means, get off my board damn channel! I'm more than finished with you lot.
Alright. Now, we have to go over to that ship. Or speak with Phineas. Alright. Alright, so this, I don't know if this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever been through. I doubt it. But here's a funny story. So when I was in college, my freshman year, hold on. So yeah, so anyway, my freshman year, I ended up going down, taking a shower, and while I was in the shower, there was a fire alarm went off. And I'm sure some of you can see where this is going already. So, fire alarm goes off, and I can hear it, but at the same time, like, I know it's just it's probably just a drill. And, you know, I'm gonna finish my shower, at least at the moment, because at that time, like, I still, you know, I wasn't shaving my head all the time, so I still had hair on my head. So, like, and I was in the middle of shampooing it, so I'm like, well, I'm not running outside with a, you know, head full of shampooed hair. So I'm rinsing my hair off. I get done. I walk outside, or I go to run back into my room real quick, because, you know, all I would do was, like, I was completely undressed except for a towel that I wrapped around my waist when I went to the shower. And then on my way back to my room, same thing, except when I got back to my room, my door was shut and the door was locked, and I didn't have my keys with me because my roommate left the room and locked the door behind him, not aware that I was in the shower at the time and didn't have any of my keys. So I now can't get into my room, and it's wintertime, and I'm not going outside in just a towel. So I walk to the end of the hallway, and there's this big window at the end of the hallway. Like, you know, it's like the entire wall basically is a window. And I step up on the it's like a heating grate, but you can stand on it, you can sit on it and stuff. So I'm standing up on the thing, and the floor that I was on was like it was basically like the second floor, and everybody is outside, and they can see me as I'm banging on the window trying to get my roommate's attention to come back in and give me the keys so I can get into the room so I can at least put some pants on. And everybody is looking up at me, and a bunch of people are like, "Oh my God," like gasping, because yes, from their angle, and me not wearing anything other than a towel, they can see right up from underneath. They can see everything underneath my towel because of the angle. Not that, you know, I'm like, whatever, but I wasn't exactly intending to let my entire dormitory get a look at my bits. So that happened. Alright, so we're not going that way.
Only good Marauder is a dead or dying one. Slick work in there.
Yeah. Hold on real quick. Let me... Oh yeah, I forgot I got this to do. Should I put the rest into... leadership? Yeah, might as well. Okay. Alright, speak to Phineas, so we can do that when we get to it. Okay, I can go back to Stellar Bay, but not yet. What was the one... Okay, that's the one I need. I need Nyoka for. Alright, so let's retrieve the gunship's targeting module. Alright, that's over there someplace. Let's go to the Cascadia landing pad. Because this way I can at least put Nyoka in my group, and then we can go after that. 80 minutes. So I'll go another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to take a break and get something to eat. Because I am starving. War of Words fizzles. Okay, come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, hold on. Let's go on the ship really quick. And while I'm there, I can also cycle through everybody's armor and see if there's anything that I can upgrade. One thing I wish that they had, and I don't know if they do, but I doubt it, is better armor that's similar to the outfits that our characters, our companions, start with.
A reminder to all crew members, there is only one toilet on the ship.
Yeah, that's scary. Alright, let's... Ellie. Okay, so we have 165 and 40. Do we have anything... We're not going to have any weapon that does better than that. $174 and 75. Well, that's already better than that, so let's... Bum, 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 bum. You know what? Let's take this, because that's helpful. Alright, Felix. Oh, wait, hold on. 18 armor. See, like, it's cool armor and everything, but it's not as good as what I should be wearing out there. And I wish they had, like I said, I wish I had an outfit that looks like this, or at least looks very similar, but is better armor than 18. I don't want her wearing heavy armor. Alright, that stuff I need to stash. 14, this is 18. Actually, her armor is better than I thought. Okay. Felix. 136 and 123. Well, that stun baton is pretty awesome. Yeah, you can use that. Even though I think your two-handed might be better, but still. 29, 31. Okay, I think he's pretty much as geared up as he can get. Now, plus 20 damage to cowering enemies. I don't really... Yeah, more damage from his ability is good. Nyoka. 105, 114. Okay, we'll give her that. This is a light machine gun, 693 and 42. $960 and 58. Well, that seems to be the better weapon. And I can modify that stuff. And I apologize as if this isn't super exciting, by the way. But this is probably I'm gonna do to the end of the stream here. Get their gear ready. 22. Again, like her outfit's cool. And if I had something that looked similar, I would wear it. Radius of footstep sounds. Yeah, I'm not really doing that much sneaking around, so... Ooh. So for 5 seconds, they do more damage after doing their... That's pretty sweet. Not bad. Okay, so that one's better than what he's using. Or she's using, I should say. $122 and essentially 66. Seems that this would be the one to give her. Alright. Then everything else would be about upgrading their stuff on the workbench. So, alright guys. I'm gonna stop the stream here. I'm gonna get something to eat and I'll be back on later on. So, yeah, that's it for now. So, anyway, for those of you that already know the drill, you're gonna hear me do my usual spiel as always. But, for those of you who haven't already done so, feel free to subscribe, hit that notification button, do all that YouTube stuff that you hear everyone tell you to do every time you watch any YouTube video. And until the next time, which will be soon, as always, peace.